Hello everyone, Jacques from Dapper Shaves. We're going to do another straight razor honing video. So let's get into the gear. I have a selection of razors here, of which I've started doing some restore work to some kind of state. This is one that is ready for honing. It is a Manaslu Hashimoto. We will have a look at this one and hone this baby up. So I'm going to put this away. Before I continue, thank you very much for all of the supporters, those of you that's subscribing, and more importantly, those that support this channel via other means than just subscribing. So a couple of shout outs. I've currently got 3 lifetime honorary members on my channel. So Laz, thank you very much for what you've been doing for this channel. We've also got a new stone from you which we're going to test. I haven't used that before. Also Felix. Felix is a 73-year-old living in Costa Rica. His father taught him how to straight razor, shave and hone. And so he's been very generous towards this channel. So thank you, Felix. And then also Toots for all his support over the years. So guys, that out of the way, there's also a few other wet shaving channels I enjoy watching. So I've got them listed down in the description. Go and have a look at them. Today specifically, a shout out to DSK Shaving. DSK Shaving is a Japanese doing head and face shaves nearly daily, mostly with Japanese razors. He is a Japanese, so go and watch his content. He's got some interesting stuff. Another shout out is to Leon the long haul tanker. In his video recently, he stated how he enjoys learning from other people by watching their videos, and that is so true. So if you find my content useful, please explore some of the other guys' content too. We're all here to spread the love. We all do things in a slightly different fashion. So DSK, if he refreshes, he typically goes 6K, 8K Kingstones, and then he does a Japanese progression. So I've got a King 8K, one that hasn't really featured on this channel a lot. So I'm going to use the stone. But before we get going, I want to introduce you to the stone. Mine, unknown. So it's a stone that comes out of the ground. This is a Sunashi, if I understand it correctly. So Sunashi is a Suita, from the Suita layer. However, it's a stone that lacks these little bubbles or holes in them, which is referred to as Su. But when we hone, we'll get into that. Here is a little piece that flaked off when I prepared the stone. We'll talk about that. And then I've got a selection of naguras. Some of these been gifted to the channel. Others I procured myself. Guys, you don't need large stones like this. You need a small little stone like this. I've got received larger stones because I do, for lack of a better word, a lot of honing, commercial honing. So I go through quite a lot of stones. So you don't need big fancy ones. The smaller stones, I think, have got a tendency of maybe being of higher quality, because you've got smaller sections to select from. A larger stone has got a larger chance of having some differences in them. So which stones I'm going to use, I'm not quite sure. We'll get to that. The first thing we want to do is, this is a splash and go, the Kingstones. So I'm just going to add a bit of water. They are quite soft. In fact, I think they are very soft. It's a synthetic stone. So for those of you that say, Jacques, you only use natural stones, Here's something different for you guys. The stone has been prepared flat. It is a stone that cuts very, very quickly, and you will quickly see some swirl forming. I inspected the edge after the restoration, and obviously there's a bunch of fine chips in the edge, and I've used polished on this, so the edge is essentially, the apex is not there, the bevels are well defined. I just need to now just make sure I get the apexes to meet, and then we'll start refining. So let's first talk about this razor, Manaslu. First, it's been quite a up and down research process. I'm still slightly confused in some of the information I researched, but I think essentially we have got some information on it. So Manaslu. So let's start at the front of the razor. We've got Honest Hearty on there, and we've got Tokyo Ricky's werk or Ricky's work on there. Now I'll get to that next, or slightly later on. We've got at the back Hashimoto, which I'm not finding a lot of information on, and we have got Manaslu on the front. Now, from the little research I have been capable of doing and information I'm finding, and hopefully DSK can help me out here. He's got a world of Japanese knowledge, being a Japanese, and also a good understanding of all the razors. Why Akamatsu Razor Works, I believe, is the company, the maker that has got the brand Manaslu. So that's the first thing I figured out, and hopefully that is true. Then if you further research Manaslu, you're bound to come up with Nikiri Corporation in Tokyo. They were one of the first Japanese companies to start importing Western wetshave products. As you know, guys, as we work, we inspect. Starting to look good. They were founded in 1885 in Osaka, and as I say, they were the first store, one of the first stores that started selling Western style products. The other company that went the same route, except I think they specifically made Japanese razors for Western customers, Takahane, previously Kukubushi, but in any case. So Manaslu. If you, I'm just going to do a couple more strokes on this, guys. The bevel is really looking quite nice. As I say, it's not going to require a lot of work. This is a carbon steel razor, quite hard. I love the grind on this. Let's quickly have a look at this. You would see essentially half of the blade is still thick, the full spine width, and then they've got a Sheffield grind essentially on there. I really like it. It creates a lot of mass in the spine. It's got a very stiff grind in there, and so that's one of the characteristics I like in a razor, and one of the reasons I also recommend them. Either a bellied razor, as you know, is my favorite, or the stiffer Sheffield grind blades. Even the custom razor I had ordered from Trevor Wolfson has got a Sheffield grind on there. Right, so I think we're going to move away from the king. We've done what we needed to do on there. I want to clean the razor off, and then I want to bring this new stone on. It feels very smooth. It seems to be very, very fine. I don't think it's quite hard. So hopefully you guys can get some feedback. This is clean, just water. Right, any case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run botan. See how botan reacts. Botan is also from the Suita strata, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or Tenju, I can't remember, or both. So these stones you would typically see might have some, it looks like air pockets in them. On the Mikawa Naguras, the graded ones, not a problem. Traditionally on, on Suita stones, they are very hard and they've got a tendency of having su, and in some cases that su can be toxic. And that just means it's detrimental to the razor's edge for honing. It's got very hard particles in that will chip the edge. So this is a beautiful stone, as I say, mine unknown. In these orange spotted areas, if you look closely, there are some small little bubble holes, pockets. Suita, when they formed, essentially there's some gas that needs to escape, and they form these little pockets or bubbles. So these stones are not going to be 100% free of them. At least that's my understanding. The botan cuts quite quick, and I'm not sure if you've seen the video, but the swarf has already, or the slurry has already discolored a lot. So botan cutting quite quickly. It is the coarsest in the traditional way of honing razors. And so the feedback I get from this is already quite good. I want to inspect what I've done thus far, and then if needed, I think we can move on to the next stone. Like I said, I don't think it's going to require a lot of work, but I want to make sure it's done properly. I really like what I see. Really like what I see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the razor. I'm going to clean the stone. And then I think we are going to skip Tenju. I want to go to Mohiro. I've got a nice striped Mohiro. It cuts very, very quick. And for me, it is a good jump if the bevel is properly set. This is what it looks like. A Mohiro, striped Mohiro, graded. These stones come from Sakamoto-san directly. You can find them in on the Japanese Yahoo pages. I haven't got the details with me. I've got somebody that obtains these stones for me. I'm quite sure there are many reputable sellers there in Japan. I'm not sure if DSK know of a couple that he can recommend. One of the reasons I use graded Mikawa Nagura is it's hassle-free, guys. You don't need to worry. You don't need to wonder and if it's going to work or if you're going to get the results. I have used many, not just what I've got here, many other stones testing for people, and I've never had a Mikawa nagura, graded nagura, that hasn't performed based on the grading it's classified on. So, something worth noting. Once again, feeling very, very good. There's a little hair. The feeling on the stone. Very good, I love this. This color, it's not yellow, it's more of an orangey red, so definitely not the Kita type of color if you had to name it. Iromona, maybe. I'm not sure. Some of you educated guys maybe jump in. When I got the stone at you'll see it's also got a couple of black spots in there. So typical Karasu, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, artifact, but very, very few far in between. It also had a bit of a blackish cloud on here, and as I lapped it, that obviously changes, but I can see there's a bit of a blackish cloud also, a darker cloud also developing. So it's interesting. It will be interesting to see how this stone develops and change over time. I don't think it's particularly hard. Guesswork, I'll put it at a 4 something. The reason why I say this, it is nowhere near as hard as this Nakayama from Kato. This stone is very, very hard. This is at a 5+. I've got a Iwatani at a 4.5 and another Iwatani at 4.5+. And those stones also, I think for me, feel slightly harder than this. So this is somewhere in that range. 4 something. I would say on the lighter side of, softer side of 4. Once again, might be totally wrong. Fine for sure. And I'm sitting closer because the microphone is on my chest. Right. I'm very, very happy with that sensation. So guys, I want to finish now. Folk will jump to a different stone. I don't want to, I need to understand what I can do with the stone. So I'm going to continue and I'm going to finish this with Kujo. I think it's pronounced Kujo. You don't see a lot of them. This one two-tone. Dark brown and toffee brown. Very similar to the stone. From a redness perspective, orangey perspective. So what I want to do is I want to use this very creamy toffee, and this is also very soft. I want to use it on the stone. This is one of my favorite finishers. You will see it's got a coma stamp on there. I'm unsure about unsure about the rest of the information. But this is a real special one. In any case, also a stone that comes out of the ground, but it produces fantastic edges. So this razor is already producing a lot of vacuum between the bevel, the stone and the water in here. So it's got that resistant, that sticky suction type of feel. So off the bat, it looks quite nice. The swarf color has already changed quite a lot, become darker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep working this, keep working the slurry. It breaks down so it becomes finer and finer and finer. And so I believe if I do things right, the fineness of the slurry as it breaks down with the very fineness of the awaseda, the base tone, I think we might just get quite a spectacular edge. So shave video would be next with this. I wanted to talk about the challenges and the pressures of having a YouTube channel. How long are we into this recording? 22 minutes. Guys, for those of you that's considering starting a YouTube channel, a couple of things. First of all is you must have passion, otherwise you're not going to enjoy it. So be passionate. When you do video, you don't need fancy gear. This is an iPhone. This is what I record on. Yes, I've used some of the funds. We used the funds to obtain this microphone just to add to video content from an audio perspective. But this is an iPhone 11, records in 4K. The sound on it, you would know, is actually quite good. The microphone I got because it's for other tasks as well, doing voiceovers and other stuff, and also for my motorcycle content. Have a look if you're interested. I'm really happy with this. We're going to finish up here. Clean up with water. And this is just to make sure I haven't got any fine particles that will impact the apex and take away the keenness. Call it a deburring, if you like. Not that there would be a deburr, but for me it's just to clean up the edge. That's what I've done. So I want to give this a little wipe, and then I want to just give it a palm strop on a rubber silicone glove, and we want to see if this will take hairs, which I believe it should. Not that that's an indication of anything. And then I'm going to go and shave it, guys. I have shaved with a Manaslu before, not a Hashimoto, but as I say, I think the maker is all the same. Yep. What I want to do is I want to just bring my arm, guys. I've got this microphone on my chest, so I want to just come as close as possible here. And I'm quite sure you guys can see and hear that clearly. So that is all for this video. I'm going to clean and dry everything, strop this razor, and then we're going to have a shave. Once again, thank you for joining me on this journey. Those of you that support me, thank you very much. I've now, I think, got around 82 or 84,000 views on my channel. Next stop's 100,000 views, but also I'd love to get to 1,000 subscribers. The only reason for that is I want to show you guys that trying to chase 1,000 because you're going to get monetized and actually make some money of this is not going to happen. The amount of money you make with these videos is very, very small, and you need a lot of momentum on it, behind it. This channel's been going for 2 years. My estimate is within the next year I should have achieved that 1,000, and then I can start showcasing you guys some numbers and showing you how little you get for this. So guys, if you want to start a channel, do it for the passion, do it for the education, trying to make a difference in somebody else's life. If you're not going to stick to those parameters, you're going to be depressing yourself big time. So thank you. See you guys on a shave.